everyone, and welcome back to Live with Brink of Speed and Octane Hour. Welcome, welcome.
Welcome, everybody. Has it been 2 weeks already?
It's been 2 weeks.
I feel like I was just here like 2 days ago.
I know.
It's been 2 weeks.
It's been a while, but we are back, and we've got neighbor Mark.
Hello.
And we've got Corvette World Rob.
Hello, Corvette once again.
And I was talking to Darren just before the show, and he said, say hi to everybody, and hopefully he'll join in. And he was even thinking that it was only a week ago that we did the show. He cannot believe it was 2 weeks.
It comes up fast.
Yep, crazy, yep.
So tonight we're going to talk about the probably big 2026 price increase and what to expect with those prices. We'll get into that later on. But we're also going to discuss a few other things that have come out since the last time that we went live, and kind of go back to one of the things that we talked about last week as well. So we're going to touch on quite a few things, but before we do that, let's welcome everybody in. We've got Daryl D in. Welcome. Texas Clay, Robert.
Oh, let's see who's in.
Krillia. Of course, neighbor Mark is here.
I am here. That's right.
Zippity's Garage is here.
Jeff is on. Very nice. Yep.
Butch Winslow. And we've got, look at that, Corvette Blogger's on.
Yes.
Ron
Keith,
Jackson.
we can start the show.
Derek Taylor.
Keith is on.
Randall Swanson. John Somerville. John, we're going to be seeing you soon in a couple of months. Kerry Glock. Ever Jeff. Wow, Ever Jeff is back. Jeff.
It was forever that he wasn't here. Now he's here.
I'll let you explain in the comments why you were gone, but just keep him in your prayers. Keep his whole family in your prayers because he's experienced a loss in his family. So,
oh no,
Corvette Colorado.
Poopy One.
Oh, Poopy One is on. Nice, welcome.
Darren's favorite participant is Poopy One.
I love it.
He has a C8 HTC rented in a couple of weeks. Where do you rent that from, like Turo or something?
Yeah, probably. Well, you could probably rent it from a high-end rental company, too.
A C8?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Vertus Johnson is on. Oh, Stephen Rapp is on. It's been a while since we've seen you on here.
Wow.
Welcome.
My God, we already got a couple of hundred people in here. This is excellent.
Awesome.
Yep. They want to talk. Yeah. So anyway, it was great to see Adam in the group from NCM last week. People are starting to ask questions, so if you want to wait, we're going to get to that.
Yeah, we're actually going to do quite a bit of talk on the Vet Pocket Guide, so let me get back to...
We've got time.
Before we get into any details about it, the first thing I want to say is that there's someone on here right now. His name is Kevin, and his partner, Jim, did something absolutely fantastic.
Amazing, fantastic.
Yes. So they realized very quickly that Michael Antoniuk was no longer going to be producing the Black Book.
You go to the store, you go to the Carlisle last year, and you're looking for the new Black Book, and not there.
Yeah.
The last one they had was what, 23?
23. So they went and met with Mike Antoniuk and got permission on everything, got his blessing to go ahead and make this continue on. But instead of in a book, he didn't want to do the book anymore. He wanted to let them do an app. And it was genius for him to let this happen because, again, he's 82 years old. And he wanted nothing to do with the book anymore at all as far as like continuing that on. And these two guys wanted to continue his legacy and push forward and get the future dates out there and improve upon that Black Book, which is very easy to do when you're talking about technology, you know? And both of these guys have a background in that exact thing, technology. So they've created an amazing app. It's called Vet Pocket Guide. And let me make sure that
It should be called Vet Pocket Guide Black Book or something because it is the Black Book.
True.
They took all the data from the Black Book and squeezed it into this app on your phone.
I think they tried something like that, and it wouldn't it wasn't going to happen that way.
Yeah.
Also, you got to remember.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Black Book is a name used in a lot of sources, so it might confuse multiple things. You need something that's going to stand out. You know, it's easy when you're in a bookstore.
Yeah, they have a Black Book.
When you're fighting for app names, it's a different deal.
Yeah, that's correct.
And also, while we're on this, while Mike's getting this loaded up, let's give a shout out to Mr. Antonick. I mean, how many years has he been doing the updates on the Black Book? That was
since
awesome.
the 70s.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he'll watch our video, but if he gets it out there or somebody ever runs into him, you know, thank you for all the years of putting that book out. I remember reading my first Black Book in the early 90s. My dad picked it up. And
why did you first pick up a Black Book?
My dad got his first Corvette, and he bought a Black Book. And, this was 93, so...
That's the first thing you do. You either get it before you get the car to research the cars, or you get it after you get the car to read about what you bought.
Right, but again, here we are. Okay, so Mr. Antonick did this till the 70th birthday of Corvette, and now we're getting the handoff. This is a handoff here, and this is an excellent handoff, so the legacy will continue. You know, and
the legacy will continue.
This is great. You know, that something doesn't just when a man retires and it's gone. You know, it's nice to see this bridge continue, and that's excellent. I don't want to get ahead of the game, but I'm just saying. You know.
Are we hearing Rob with his mic turned away from his?
Yeah.
I mean, these guys approached us at the bash and kind of talked to us about it. We're like, really? Okay, and we took a look at it, and it's just amazing.
It is amazing.
It's just amazing. I mean, you're going to show some stuff. I don't know, are you showing it yet? But
yeah, I just shared my screen with you guys. Some of this is going to look really small to you guys if you're like on your phone or your iPad. If you're on a big like 75-inch TV, you're going to be able to see this really well. But Kevin put this together. The interface navigation on this app is incredible. It works both with the iPhone and the iPad, and if you have a Mac Pro or a iMac, it's going to work on those as well. Obviously, if it's an Apple product. But you can view it vertically, just like the book, or you can view it horizontally, landscape, and it kind of gives you a few more options with the landscape version. One thing I got to say right away, though, about the app is when I first saw it, it already looked great. But from the time that they showed me this app till now,
it's even better.
The updates that they've done on this thing are ridiculously amazing.
Yeah.
And that's so not only do we have technology to put this book right in your pocket in your phone, which makes it so much more convenient instead of carrying around a big book, but the updates that are going to come with this thing are incredible, and the future, looking forward to the future of this app. They have so many plans for this app. It's unbelievable what they're going to do with this app, what they're going to allow you guys to do with this app. Once we get to a certain point, not tonight, but down the road, I'll be able to discuss with you one of my favorite things that they're going to do with the app. But as it sits right now, it's incredible. The graphics are all great.
It's basically the Black Book. What did you use the Black Book for? You'd go to your year, 1978. You see pace car. How many pace cars were there? 6502. How many of them had manual transmissions? How many had automatic transmissions? How many orange cars did they make? I mean, in the Black Book, but now with the app, you can interact with the data and you can ask it how many convertibles in orange with automatic transmissions.
Yeah.
It's like incredible. It's the Black Book on steroids because it's like interactive.
It is. And with the Black Book, I used it from probably 2021, I think, was the first time I ever picked up a Black Book. And there were many times where I would look in there and could not find exactly what I was looking for a stat.
Yeah.
Okay. I would call this guy right here, and he would usually fill me in on that stat.
Because he was looking at his Black Book or whatever.
Well, because he knew how to read it better than I did. Plus, he had stuff in his brain that I didn't have in my brain, all the memories.
Yes.
But now with this app and moving forward with it, it's going to get even better than it is right now. You can pretty much pinpoint whatever you want to pinpoint with this thing. I mean,
you showing them that one screen that I really like.
Well, not yet. We're almost to it.
Well, I like those three right there.
Those are good too. Yep. But there's so much information in this app already, and it's very new. This is our favorite screen right here, is the color chart. This is brand new. It's the latest update.
At that. That was never in the Black Book.
Yeah.
But it takes the Black Book data and parses it out for you into a pie chart.
That's right. So it's really, really nice. You can very quickly find out the rarest car in that generation or in that generation or year of that generation is what I should say, like 2020, 2021, whatever you want to find out. You're going to find out very quickly. And, you know, Stephen Rapp, if he's still on here, he used to always ask, I need to know how rare my 2023 70th Z06 is. And I know he was talking about like with the stripes he had or with, you know, the interior or whatever. And that's probably never going to come to this because that's, I don't know, that's very, very detailed. But what you can find out very quickly that you can't find out quickly in the Black Book is coupe convertible in the 70th anniversary white or the carbon flash. We did it, you know, this afternoon, and he very quickly found out how rare his car is.
Yeah.
As it sets. I mean, not his interior, not the stripes, nothing like that. Because when you're looking at selling your car, you can't tell someone my car is a one of one 70th anniversary and they pay more for it. Most of the time, unless it's like 50 years old or something. Mm-hmm. With it being this age, all they're going to care about is how many of this color in this, you know, coupe or convertible were produced.
So you want to get into like the app? I mean, it's right on the App Store, and I already see somebody said it's not for. Robert Cirilli says it's not for Android yet, but I think they're working on it, right?
They're working on Android. So one thing with Android is they really need to see a lot of people wanting the Android app. When you look up the numbers in the USA, there's way more users of iPhone than Android. Now, if you look at the rest of the world, it's the other way around. It's way more Android users than iPhone. So there really has to be a huge interest for it to make sense for them to put it out on the Android, but they're very open to doing it, and they will do it if there's enough interest. So we'll talk about that a little bit later, but they're right now just focused on the iPhone, the iPad, and the iMac and Mac Pro.
Every year that I usually get a book every 1 or 2 years. Every time I get a book, it's like, how much was Mike getting? Was it like $24.95 for a...
You know what, though? I looked today, and there's people selling that book for $35.
Really?
Because you can't get it anymore.
So every year you'd have to spend $25 to $30 to get a book.
Right.
What about the app? How does the app charge?
So the app, that's a great question. The app, they charge $25 to download it.
Each year, right?
No.
What?
That's the first year. After that, it's only $5 a year moving forward.
$5 to update it?
$5 to update it on a yearly basis. Now, in between you purchasing it and that year end, there will be probably
updates within
galore, hundreds of updates.
It's like getting an Apple update on your phone
that you don't pay for.
But
the next year it renews, it only charges $5 to your Apple account.
To get the next year's
To me, it's like you're saving. I mean, not only you're saving money, if you're that guy that buys the Black Book every single year.
Me and Rob.
Exactly. Yes. Peter Carey, if he's on here, I know he does. This is a no-brainer. It's got an amazing VIN decoder. Right now, if you have a 2020 or above, when you type in that VIN, and actually it might work on C7s. I don't know. We didn't check that the other night.
But it pulls up the window sticker, but not for the window sticker yet.
Oh, okay, only the C8?
Only C8, which is right now I think that's tied into that system that Carfax was using. But I guess we'll see if that changes. Because that'd be nice if they can integrate that into the older years.
And I do think that their plan is to have the window sticker. You can kind of see it here on this.
Oh my God, the window sticker comes up. Oh,
yeah,
that's so
if we could at least get, if they can figure out a way to get it to where we get every window sticker at least from the Millennium and up, that'd be amazing. Everything 2000 and up, heck yeah.
This is really cool. You can check all the prices and production. And what's really neat is when you're on the app, all of these Corvette flags are blue except for the one that you're clicked on. So you can navigate up here to whichever generation you want, or you can navigate.
Tap it with your finger. You just tap the flag, the cross flag. That's so cool.
So it's very intuitive. It's very, user friendly. It doesn't take very long to get used to navigating your way around it. And it's just amazing. And
Look at that.
Here's another thing.
360 view?
Yeah, they've got 360 views of cars. You can zoom in, see the interior, see all the details on the underside of the car, anything you want to look at. And trust me, it is only going to get better.
Yep.
There's a really cool thing coming out with that.
So we want to know, moving on to the next subject, if we're going to do that, I understand that the Vet Pocket Guide has the new prices for 2026 in there already, right? Right? Everybody get on the price. The Pocket Guide. No, it doesn't. Joke.
Yeah, I wish. It would be really cool if it could predict the future.
Let us know what the prices are for 2026.
I want to answer Keith French's.
French?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you have the VIN, it'll decode as such, so you can do that. Obviously, you're not going to see the car's current location or anything like that.
It's
you're
a GPS locator.
You're gonna.
My car is there.
You're gonna. No, but yes, you can, and because that's we actually were experimenting around with that last night, checking VINs. So yeah, I don't see any reason why. And again, the level of decoding, which they're working on. Depends on the model year,
So yes.
All right, let's talk about prices.
Hang on. The app is out. It's been out.
Yeah.
The way that you will go and purchase it is click on the link in the description, or let me show you another way you can do it real quick, because this is even easier sometimes for people to do this. So let me just show you real quick.
Yes, the app is out now. I downloaded it today or a couple days ago, I guess. God, it's been over a week then I've used it.
I was going to say, I think you've had it for longer than that. So let's go to
Vet Stalking, John Perkins.
My homepage.
Yeah.
And when you come to the homepage of Brink of Speed,
show you how to.
It's right under the help me reach my goal of 100K subscribers. There's apps, apple.com, Click on this on your phone. Now, you can't do that on your computer, because unless you have a Mac. If you have a Mac, it'll let you download it from there. But on your computer, your PC, it won't let you. So if you're on your iPad or iPhone on my channel, right here's what you would click on. So just wanted to show you guys that.
You're in. Yeah. And then you'll spend hours playing with it.
Right. Okay. Let's get to Wheelcraft real quick. If you want to. We got a box from them here, don't we?
Yeah, is that what that box is right there?
That's what that box is. Yeah.
That's what that box is there? Yeah. I get to open it?
You get to open it.
All right.
So go open it. We've got some beautiful chrome wheels from Wheelcraft. You guys are seeing on the screen now their website. Guys and gals, if you have not...
What is this box? Can you guys hear me? We're unboxing. We're unboxing.
Vanna White can never be heard, Mark.
Come on, can you hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Hey, down in front.
But
look at this. Oh, look at this. Is this the new wheel?
It's an OEM chrome wheel, beautiful bright chrome.
Oh my God, look at that.
So
unboxing right here on Brink of Speed.
Guys, if you have a desire to have chrome wheels on your C8, this is the company you need to go through. Ed at Wheelcraft is absolutely amazing. The company is phenomenal. The process is absolutely phenomenal. It's a PVD process. The gloss on that is absolutely gorgeous. And here's how you do it. You buy your car. You call up Ed. You say, I want my OEM wheels chromed. He'll ship you a set of 4 wheels that are already chromed. You have them installed. You put your old wheels back in the box. They already have shipping labels in the box for you to ship them back to Ed, and you're all done.
A lot of times I see chrome wheels, and then just the face of it is chromed. The whole barrel is chromed and everything?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
That's just amazing. I mean, the lip, because a lot of times, like even on my 2016, my chrome wheels, right, Rob? The chrome is just like it was the pressed in part.
Right.
The barrel wasn't chrome.
Right.
This whole damn thing is chrome.
But they have other colors as well that you can get.
We don't need anything else. Chrome
or go home.
We don't need any of those other colors. No
all right. We know you like classic chrome.
This classic chrome.
And look, and to be fair, I like chrome too. But again, there's nothing wrong with black chrome or blue chrome. Another chrome.
That's right, blue chrome.
Red chrome.
Yeah, there's red chrome.
That is.
If
I wonder if they'll do a yellow chrome.
Well, we got it.
I don't know. It's a good question.
That would be interesting.
It would be.
Yeah.
If we had more time tonight, I would whip out. We have a black chrome wheel here. We could whip those out as well. But we are kind of running low on time. Yeah, we'll do it next time.
Let's talk about price increase.
Hang on, Mark. You're getting ahead of the game here.
I know. I'm excited.
Calm down. We're going to get there. We're going to be there in 2 minutes.
All right.
Less. I love his enthusiasm, though. It's amazing.
I hear everybody going, let's go. Let's get to the main topic.
So real quick, reach out to Ed if you're interested in getting your wheels chromed. You're going to save a lot of money over buying brand new wheels. And these are around $1,300 to $1,700, depending on your situation, what wheels you go with, who installs them for you, and whatnot. And if you take delivery at the museum, you can get them installed right there on your brand new C8, E-Ray, Z06, Stingray, ZR1 at the museum. So, like I said, contact Wheelcraft if you're interested. Okay. We are to your subject.
Yes. Everybody's can't wait to talk about this.
I know.
There's no price increase for 2026, right?
That's right.
Hey.
Zero.
Easy, Derek. ADHD is overrated. He's just excited.
Yes.
He's just a Mark. Okay.
That's right. He's neighbor Mark. So, guys, on the Mid-Engine Corvette forum, they produced this article. John is great. John Elegant over there. And it's very informative. He actually starts it out by talking about what Ford is predicting for 2026 with pricing, what Chevrolet is predicting with the tariffs, what they're going to lose, what they're going to gain, yada, yada, yada. And then after seeing all of that and John having some inside tracks and little birdies that talk to him, he wanted to make his own prediction for pricing. And he's been right a lot on things in the past. I mean, I follow John on the Mid-Engine Corvette forum, and I have since 2020, actually since 2019.
He's the co-founder of the
He's the co-founder,
thing, right? Co-founder of the Mid-Engine Corvette forum.
And he really does know his stuff. He does a lot of research, and like I said, he's got some inside tracks. So if you look at this if you look at his first comment after his article, he talks about what his guesses are. And here we have what his guesses are for the Stingray, a price increase of $2,995. Now,
how much
keep in mind,
for the Stingray?
Keep in mind, there was no price increase for Stingray in 2025. For E-Ray, $39,995. For Z06, $44,995 or $44,995, and for ZR1, $9,995.
$10,000 to add to the ZR1's price.
Yes,
that we already thought was started a little high.
Now, as you see here at the bottom, he says, "I hope I'm high on all of them," but
I think he is high. No, I'm just kidding.
We all do. We all hope that this is not going to happen, but you've got to consider there's a lot of variables out there and reasons why he could be very right on all of this. So, again, as usual, all of this stuff is linked in the description below, so you guys can always check out these articles when you're finished watching this, or if you want to look at them now while you're watching it, you can do that as well.
What are you thinking on those numbers? Like, I mean, I can see they could probably raise the price on the ZR1 by whatever they want.
They could.
They'd probably get it. Yeah. The Z06, maybe so. The E-Ray, maybe not. But the Stingray,
out of all of the models, the E-Ray is the biggest mistake to raise the price on. for a few reasons. But number one, I feel like they started that car off at the wrong price in the first place.
Which one? The
E-Ray. I don't know if you guys will agree with me or not, but I feel like that car should have started at maybe 85 or 90,000 bucks, and at the most 95,000.
But it was 104.
It was 104 and some change
when it started. Yeah,
when it started.
Wow.
So I feel like it was at least 10,000 above what the maximum price I thought it should have been was, and maybe $20,000 more than what the bottom price I thought it should be. So for them to raise it $4,000 again, I feel like that car is just going to get less and less attractive to people out there. Now, there are, I have to say, at the Bash, there were the most E-Ray owners I've ever seen at any location. And it was really nice to see. It was really nice to hear from all of them.
And E-Ray owners are very enthusiastic group. They're not like, oh, well, I like it. They're like, they love it.
Yes.
Keith
you are
loves,
correct.
Well, now let's keep in mind, why do we think that is because the E-Ray is the cruiser. It is a very comfortable cruising car. It is for the wide body.
Yeah.
Right, without a doubt.
Well, and it's something brand new that the Corvette community's never had.
Yeah,
we've never had all-wheel drive hybrid.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that.
And everybody had a bad attitude about it, including myself. I really did. I had a bad attitude about the E-Ray. And I had some good friends talk me back into not having a bad attitude, and I decided to listen to them.
And he went out and bought one.
And I bought one. But before I bought it, I drove one. And after driving, actually, I drove two before I bought it. After driving it, it was like a no-brainer. And all of the people that I talked to at the Bash with the E-Ray, they said the exact same thing. They said, I had a bad attitude, but after seeing the videos that you produced, that this YouTuber produced, that YouTuber produced, that, GM came out with, I changed my mind, and I'm really glad I did, because it's the favorite Vet I've ever owned, and that's exactly my thought on it. It is my favorite. But I still believe that they should not price increase on the E-Ray. I actually think it'd be smart of them to keep it the same for quite a while, because they are having a hard time selling them.
Well, my question to you was, and they didn't get into this at the Bash, but because nobody wants to talk about whether it's a success or not, but do you think their marketing plan, they knew or had a point of where they'd like to see the sales at? Do you think they're under what they thought?
Yes.
Or over?
Well,
and do we just think that it's just not selling as much as we thought, but we don't really know how many Chevy thought that they were going to sell?
Let's not go down that rabbit hole too far.
Because if it's underselling, why raise the price? It's going to make it even harder to sell.
Oh, I know. That's what I just said.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to raise the price. I do believe that the marketing was terrible on it, and I believe that they probably knew before they even put it up for sale that it wasn't going to sell well, and that's why they kept talking about it everywhere they went as it's going to be a slow, production on the E-Ray. And it's because they weren't getting good feedback. They were getting absolute negative feedback on that car from the mass majority of people out there. But let's move on with this pricing thing. I've got some questions and some statements to make about it, and then I want you to hear from you guys. So if these are the real price increases, does it make you want to order a 2025 instead of a 26? Any of you out there, if you are really thinking about ordering a 2026 and then you hear this, does it kind of change your mind at all?
It's just interesting to me because I see Jeff back on again from Zippy's Garage. So they didn't make any of the announcements for 2026. We postulate, we guess that because they didn't want to jeopardize the 2025 sales.
Right.
Well, if they wanted to boost the 2025 sales, I think they should have announced the price increase for 2026. People would have run out and emptied the lots of the 2025.
Agreed, 100%.
So it's like
they should have come out with the new colors and the new interior.
And by the way, this is the new price.
And this is the new price.
So go out and get your 25s where they're still there.
Right.
Because right now, they're all being discounted. Even Z06s are being discounted at some dealerships, right?
Yeah. Yep.
But now that the price increase is going to come out,
well, that makes
2020 everybody's going to run to the 25s again.
Well, and that makes the 25s that are sitting on dealers' lots even that much more attractive.
Yes.
Because not only are you getting a lesser starting price, but you're also getting a discount off of that. So you're probably going to save on a Z06 if you get 4, 5, 10,000 off, whatever it is. You could save $15,000 on a Z06 just because of the price increase.
Yes.
So that's a good point.
What do you think, Jeff? Be interesting.
Go ahead.
Okay, so a couple things to keep in mind too. Also, the people that want the latest and greatest and have the cash for it, the price increase is not going to affect them. That's the first thing we got to remember. The market, those that are going to buy and have that money to buy, they're going to buy. Okay, what's going to happen is if they did it the way you're saying it, you're right. That would clear the lots out, but at the same time, they shut the plant down.
Right.
So I think there's that natural, gradual. They're going to sell. Those that are maybe been waiting or starting to come into market, they may also, they may be gambling on that, again, that we'll come out of this, that we're slowly starting to see the signs we're coming out of the recession. Sure. So, that they're eventually going to sell out anyway. So they're just let it roll and just go right in the new one. As far as the use side of it, I can tell you right now, Z06's Z-Rays, they haven't gone up. They've either leveled off or have come down a little bit. Stingrays
on the used market.
Early indication right now.
The used market.
In the used market, the Stingrays ironically have gone up just a little, very little. But they have. It's the first sign we were like, wait a minute, is this indicator?
Stingrays have gone up
a little bit, very little, not a lot, not barely even noticeable. But again,
but not going down is going up for me or for anybody that's got one.
And again,
not going down.
Correct.
For a while there, I'm not going to lie. I mean, the Stingrays have been, from my perspective, what I've seen, they've been fairly level. They've been level for months now. They haven't gone up. They haven't gone down any further, except for obviously with the natural progression. We're starting to see cars with more mileage on them now. Right. So now we're finally starting. I got one right now. We just got it in the 50s. Yeah. First time, finally starting to get them in that range. But that's natural progression. The question will be, will these price increases push the used market back up again, or will it leave it level because there's still a surplus?
That's a good question. The video I did the other day at Stonebriar Chevrolet, that salesman actually said, without me even asking him, they're giving people more money for their trade-in C8s. And there for the longest time, they were giving them, he said, I saw prices in the 50s for trade-ins, and he was like, man, the market's getting bad, and now they're coming back up.
And that may have been that small spike that we saw.
Yeah.
But again, it also depends on that market because, again, like we're plentiful with used vets, obviously. Mm-hmm. Are specific dealers tapping the same sources that I'm tapping? Right. The answer is yes and no, because obviously, there's certain sources you go to, but at the same time, we got people that come to us, we buy, we look at the market. This is where the market's at. They may shop around a little bit, then sell to us. I mean, it just depends. But I would say this, if they keep production on the 25s down, like they don't restart the plant, or even if they do, they don't produce much, I think definitely we'll probably see at a minimum at least a short-term increase. I agree. Because of supply and demand.
Yep.
Especially if the economy continues to get better.
Jeff from Zippity's Garage says, my used prices are rising due to lack of inventory at Sioka.
Yeah.
Very good. Keep that plant slowed down.
But so guys, check this out. That puts the Stingray, the base Stingray at $73,000. It puts the base E-Ray at $112,000. It puts the base Z06, and we're talking coupes here, $121,000
for the base
Z06. The base Z06 is $121,000, and the base ZR1 now will be $185,000. So those prices are really, really creeping up fast. Wow. Especially when you think that in 2020 we had a base price of a Stingray of $59,995 and it's up $13,000 if these prices are correct from the mid-engine Corvette.
What's that percentage? Somebody do a calculation. What's 13,000 divided by 59,000? What's that percentage increase?
Good idea. Now, my next question is GM doing this for is GM doing a couple of things here? Quickly separating the Corvette from the middle class, being able to afford it, and fueling the disconnect between themselves and their loyal customers. Because we already know that there are people on these lives and in comments on many of my videos talking about that the C8 Corvette has really changed the Corvette completely. Not just in the aesthetics, not just in the performance, but also in the affordability because of how fast it has come up in price. And we know from all of what happened at the Bash and the last about year or so with GM that there has been a disconnect between the customer and GM. And it's gotten worse and worse as the months have gone on. You know, from what happened with E-Ray in the first place, with them taking forever to get that started and produced and us hearing nothing for months and months on end, to the ZR1, where they brought it out in February, allowed people to order it, and then took those orders back. And now what they've done with the Z06, they've allowed those Z06 orders from all the way back in September and October to become 3,000 status, stay 3,000 status for the longest time with the high wings, and then say, no, you're not getting the high wing anymore.
I'm going to show you something here real quick from the Vet Pocket Guide. Check this out.
Yeah, that's a good graph to show.
That is the price from 77 up to 82.
How much is the price difference?
If you think the prices are
Here,
going up high now...
Mark, come back. They're not going to hear you.
Well, they can hear. Yeah, they said they could last time. They could hear. But check this out. So you go from...
You had your mic turned around, though.
You go from... I was talking louder, though. You went from $8,000 in 1977, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82. 5 years later, it's $18,000 from $8,000 in 77. It more than doubles the price.
That's relative, though. I think
but it's relative. But just the percentage of what people were making then now, so maybe it's not so bad. I'm just throwing that out as but look at the change.
Well, no, because if you look at C7, look at C7 on there. The price is very, very small. I think it's $4,000 or $5,000 difference from 2014 to 2019.
Say that again. The
C7 price from 2014 to 2019, the base Stingray, I think went up $4,000 or $5,000. $6,000 at the most.
Yeah. Because inflation was pretty low. I mean, inflation in 77 to 82 was in the double digits.
Right.
So, but I mean, just that's not to say it's good or bad. I just thought I'd show that price increase from that short amount of time, literally doubled. Now, can you imagine the Corvette price doubling from 59 to 120,000?
So, who here believes that these prices are crazy or could get even crazier?
Yeah,
that's another question.
Can I chime in on that really quick?
Yeah.
Okay. First off, this is not unique to Corvette at all. This is the entire market. Case in point. When I worked at Chevrolet back in 2013 to 14, we had price points of brand new cars you can get from $13,000 to $25,000. We had a pile of them. You had lots of choices. Right now, today's Chevy options, you have one in that price range. The Trax, well, maybe a base Trailblazer too.
Oh, yeah. They've all, absolutely. We've talked about this in the
everything
past.
has got now is part of this. Okay, just like during the late 70s when we experienced that real high inflation, that those that lived through that, and of course we're experiencing that now. Is that part of it? Yes, but there's also been a shift, and the reason why they had the shift is because there was a big high demand for trucks. There was a high demand for some of these more expensive vehicles. But at the same time, this is where you talk about, are they pricing the Corvette out of the market, of its normal market to get it into a different class? Are they doing it? So this is what you have is a situation where are you listening to your constituents, aka like in politics, in this case, your customers, the ones that are buying, or are you chasing an award medal by your donors and these, in this case, I like to call it, as a guy who's religious with automotive media for 20 years, where, well, the interior is inferior and blah, 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 blah. And, you got to be more like Europe and do that stuff. And they're chasing that, not understanding when they're doing that, they're leaving their constituents behind because they're not listening to your customers that are buying, And I think this is not unique to Chevrolet by any means, let alone Corvette. This is across the board. Just look at Dodge. I mean, my God. This disconnect here and the reasons behind it. I think what's probably more likely going to happen with Corvette is I think the Stingrays will still be in that relatively middle-class, budget-friendly range. But I think what we're going to see is these, especially now that Corvette officially has a full production hypercar, which is what the ZR1 will be, these are going to get into a level that may be in that separate. I think it's both at the same time. I think they're not going to put everybody out of the market because that'd be brand suicide. But at the same time, they're definitely going to take some of these upper level trims and they're going to take them probably way up there into exotic pricing.
I agree. I think
what do you think that Zora is going to be starting at?
Well,
300.
And somebody asked, are these the real prices? No, they're not. We explained that at the beginning, but if you're just joining us, I understand you didn't hear it. These are from the Mid-Engine Corvette Forum, which is, from a very trusted source that is guessing at these prices, and he's very good at his guesses in the past. So we're not taking these as the gospel of what the prices are going to be, but we are pretty much leaning towards the fact that they probably could be this high or higher. There's actually been people out there talking about the ZR1 going up $20,000. So his guess of $10,000 only is quite a bit less, obviously half. But the $3,000 on the Stingray would not surprise me one little bit, just because the Z06 and E-Ray both got a $2,000 or $2,500 increase for 2025, and the Stingray got nothing. So I'm thinking they're probably going to either, double or a little less than double what the Stingray would normally go up in price for this next price increase, especially because the thing that we haven't even talked about is the new tech that's in this car, the new materials that is in this car, the new technology, which is what I just said, the tech,
the improved
displays, the exterior modifications that have been done to these cars. I feel
the
like
racing coach.
I feel like it's a no-brainer that they're going to raise these up. Now, is it worth what they're raising it up? Probably not exactly apples to apples, but we just have. I mean, if you want the car, you're going to have to pay that. And somebody did say that, the price is what the price is. That's correct. It's just a thing that we can discuss whether or not GM is making a mistake by raising them up so high, so fast on this model and not kind of taking their time, especially because we know this model is going to be a long-term model.
Another thing, too, is, and look, the market will speak. If GM is making a mistake, the market will tell it. Because case in point, right now, I'm always picking on Dodge with the new E-Charger, but the you know which American Classic is really hurting right now? The Mustang. They are hurting.
Really?
And therefore, and one of the reasons why that they did
even with the Camaro going out.
Yes, they're hurting. They one of the theories why is not, they're saying maybe spiling and stuff, but it's also price. If they get too high, they're chasing away their customers. Especially
the Mustang.
So guys. even if they do take it to a level that gets too expensive, well, simply put, they're just going to come to places like mine and buy a used one, and they're going to wait till the market comes down. Chevrolet will have to answer that. They're going to go down. So we as the consumers have control on that. That's just the reality of it. Even if Chevrolet makes that mistake, well, that'd be fine. Like, okay, we're going to go sit around in the used market for a while until you guys get a clue. And then they'll come back down. That's what's going to end up happening. As long as people are buying them, they're going to do it. But at some point, if they see a steep drop in them sales, they'll level the prices off because they got the margins for it. They do. They just right now they're taking advantage of it. Anybody that says, "Oh, they're raising it because the tariffs," look, no, that's silly. Nothing of the tariffs is affecting the prices right now. That's called marketing. Okay,
the prices were coming up way before any of these tariffs came into place, so we already know that that's not what's raising the prices. It is their marketing. It is their, again, I said this a couple weeks ago. Did they make the new interior to really give us a new interior that we'd be proud of? Yes, of course they did, but sometimes you want to think that they made that new interior just so they could justify raising the prices because we knew they were going to raise the prices.
And it increases demand for the newest, greatest, best thing, which cars have done for years and years. I mean, you got to admit, I mean, the 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, that's 6 model years.
Right.
The C2 only lasted for 5 model years, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there were plenty of changes on that thing.
Yeah. Now,
I mean,
but again,
from fuel injection to big block to changing the way the outside looked with the gills and the certain things and the chrome accents and 63, the split window. And the 2020 to 25 basically didn't change.
Right.
Well, again, now keep in mind, when you get a price increase, you got to justify it. Now, the new interior is real nice. But they're going to have to do more if they're going to justify these prices. They're going to either power output, they're going to have more options. I mean, they're going to have to justify that.
We saw this market get soft on the Stingrays because you could go to a dealership and see Stingrays staying out there, out on the lot. Jeff at Sioka showed that. We went to every classic, Stonebriar. They had them. Now they don't. Why? They just turned the spigot off.
Right.
They stopped making them for like 5 weeks, spaced out within 2 months. Yeah. So that's why maybe why prices are kind of.
It is.
Well, I'm not even
definitely.
Well, I was actually kind of leading at a hint. You know, one way you're going to justify pricings, all this silliness with allocation shortages, carbon fiber shortages, all this stuff. Look, that we love this car, but they keep having these mistakes with supply chains. You want to justify this? You need to make your customers happy. All that needs to go away.
Right.
Because if you Chevrolet are asking the Corvette buyer to buy your product, stop falling short. Stop. Don't release the greatest performing Corvette in history and not have enough carbon fiber to put 2/3 of them on the road. Come on.
Agreed.
You want that price tag, you want that reputation, you have to solve that problem. If you solve that problem, here's the thing. Even if they're like, that price, but everything else is good, it offsets. It's like a scale.
Yeah, and to even take that a step further, they're having problems getting their car, then they get their car, and then they have problems with their car. That's a really big turnoff to a lot of people. And so you not only need to get that covered with the allocation process and the what's the word I'm looking for? Where the part is not available.
Constraint.
Yes. I couldn't think of constraint. The constraint problems, but it'd be nice if we didn't have transmission issues on some of these cars or LT6 engine issues on some of these cars. And now I think we might be seeing some LT7 issues because now we've got an LT6 with twin turbos on it, basically. So, just make it easier on the consumer, and the prices won't hurt as bad, just like he said. Super 8, Joe Lamb says he agrees.
Very good.
Okay, so we didn't get to everything we wanted to get to. We apologize for what happened in the beginning of this. It stabilized like we thought it would, but it took a lot longer to stabilize than we thought it would.
It's got to warm up like a tube on an old radio. You got that vacuum tube's got to warm up.
I am going to show them one more thing real quick going on with this? Because I can't not show you guys this. If you haven't gotten on the new configurator, it's not really the 2026 configurator, but it's similar. Go to GM's website or Chevrolet's website, get on here, look at the different colors on this thing. It's pretty cool.
Oh, look at that.
Look at this. You can drag the car around. You can make it bigger by clicking on it and still drag it around. And this is probably the coolest part. You can get on the interior as well, and you can look at this thing in a 360 view. So check this out.
Oh, wow. All the way around.
You can go all the way around this thing. You can go up. You can go down.
Wow. I love the red stitching.
So if you guys haven't had fun on this yet, go have fun. I had to show you guys that. It shows.
What interior goes with the green, by the way, real quick before we stop?
Sky Cool Gray, black.
Okay.
Artemis.
Well, Artemis is no longer.
I know.
No more Artemis?
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, they should have resurrected
It's interesting that they didn't even talk about getting rid of Artemis, but they got rid of it because it's not on here.
Yeah, that's too bad.
But yeah, I did like Artemis for sure.
Yeah, I did too. That was a good Seawolf grade too.
So I'm glad I was able to show you guys that as well. It's really, really fun to play with. It's not your normal way of getting on. Make sure when you go to the website.
Sometimes I get frustrated.
I'll show you real quick. I'll show you real quick. Let's go to Chevrolet just so I can show you guys.
It's called the build configurator. What's it?
I'll show you.
Okay.
So let's get on the. Wait for everybody to be able to see this, and then we'll get on to. Whoops, clicked on the wrong thing. Go to vehicles.
Yeah.
Go to performance, and it's right here. Explore the new 2026.
You don't need to pick on one of the pictures of the Corvette. You go
and
right
then
to
you
the
just scroll
flags
from here until you see that.
Yeah. Okay.
And then it's right here for you.
At the bottom. Okay.
Yep. There's the new Blade Silver. Right. It's real new.
Wow, that Blade Silver looks great.
Anyway, I like Blade Silver. Don't get me wrong. It's just not new. All right. Do you want to give something away real quick? You have a question?
Oh, God. I thought we were not doing a giveaway.
We're giving away
today.
something real quick.
Okay, we're going to give away something real quick. Hold on.
Thank you guys so much for joining us and sticking with us on the screw up with the technical difficulties today. We really appreciate you hanging in there. We've got an excellent connection, and we have for quite a while now. So I'm not sure what happened in the beginning. If you're enjoying this, give it a big thumbs up. That really helps YouTube know that you are enjoying it and helps support the channel as well. You find something?
I did, I guess.
Actually, I can just ask him this. Let's do something real
quick.
Sure?
Okay. Yep. All right.
Guys, how many miles are now on my 2024 E-Ray?
How long have you had it?
Go.
How long have you had it?
Since June 24th of 2024.
So less than a year.
Less than a year.
Less than a year, so about 1,500, I'd say. That's how much I put on it in a year.
Whoever gets closest to the mileage will win something from Super 8 Creations because they are a sponsor of the show. Joe Lamb is the owner of Super 8 Creations, and he will ship you out something very quickly.
So like 10 months. He's had it 10 months, 11 months. So.
Oh, General Lee's on. Welcome. I didn't see you there.
General Lee. So.
Glad you are joining us.
10 miles a week times 52 weeks. That's just about 1,000 miles now.
We've got.
Hit end if you're.
Some close ones. Okay. We've got some, this is crazy. This is so crazy.
What am I saying?
I hit end. So anything that comes in past that end is not going to count. You guys can see the end there in your chat. All right. Let me make sure that it is who I think it is. Just got to go over the numbers real quick. But I believe...
You got to make it so they only get one guess each. Good Lord.
Well, here's the thing. This person guessed once and got it right his first guess.
Wow.
And he's a two-time back-to-back winner.
No.
James Grimm got it. 3,550 miles. He was off by about 30 miles.
Oh, my God. 3,500 miles.
I have 3,500 and about 20-some miles on it.
That's how many I have in 3 years.
We gotta give James a clap. A clap.
It's a hat trick.
I don't know which one is. So, congratulations, James. Hey, you got it right. Good work. You are the winner of whatever Mr. Joe Lamb decides to send you out again. So
boil this down. The show tonight. Run out and get your 2025 before the prices go up. Right?
Yeah, I mean, kinda. I don't know if I would say that or not because you know what? I'm so excited about that new interior. I want a 2026.
Oh, he'll pay for that.
Am I going to get one?
The
Probably
department's
not.
got his number. He's going to pay
soon,
for it. He's not complaining at all. He's ready to write the check. He's going to get that new one.
I love it. I think it's a great interior.
Yeah, it is. It's a great interior for sure.
It's beautiful.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, again, thank you so much for joining us.
Patience.
Check out that Vet Pocket Guide. Again, the links are in the description and on the front of my YouTube page, and I will pin a comment as well, so you can click on that. It just gives me credit for the sale when you go and purchase it. I really appreciate it. And give in the comments down below, give Kevin and Jim a huge thanks for doing this, and also Mike Antonick for allowing them to do this.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a big deal. It's a really big deal.
That's
so
tip of the cap to
tip
a
of the
legend,
cap.
An absolute legend.
Yep. So you guys have a wonderful rest of your...
Wait. Yep. Yeah, do one more thing. Last week I just want to give a shout out.
All right.
Last week we had Armed Forces Day, so a belated thank you to everybody that is watching that is actively serving in our armed forces. And then this Monday, we have Memorial Day, so we remember all our fallen veterans. So if you know somebody have served, and I personally have known people that are no longer with us, moments of silence, prayers for them, and thank you for those that have served that have no longer with us. I just wanted to give a shout out to both of that, since this is right in between the two.
And I really appreciate you doing that, Robert.
Yeah, so
thank you. All right. Well, you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening, and we'll see you on the next live, and we'll have Starlink next time.
Starlink. We'll see you out.